It would seem that the Son family is getting pretty big these days. Hey guys, DB Rai here, and today I'm here to talk about what might happen had Gine and Bardock, the parents of Goku, survived and escaped planet Vegeta. Or at least escape in some way. Like, I understand that there are a lot of what ifs that have done, or what if Bardock and Gine survived, or Gine and Bardock survived before, and that's all fine. I haven't watched these myself, so hopefully I can do this in a way that hopefully other channels have not come up with. And well, just to have a bit of fun with it anyway. And our story begins prior to the destruction of planet Vegeta, so post-Dragon Ball as it were. And well, just like in the original story, and well, just so we can keep Bardock pretty much the badass Saiyan we know and love, we're basically going to be combining bits from the Bardock TV special and Dragon Ball Minus. In case you don't know what Dragon Ball Minus is, that's the manga that did the retelling of basically Bardock's story and introduced Goku's mother, Gine. And well, as Masako X has proven in the past, you can have both these stories joined together and work. It can happen. And so, much like in the original, Bardock has had that fateful battle in Kanasa and had the Kanasan abilities to see the future passed down to him. And of course, having visions of planet Vegeta being destroyed by Lord Frieza, who has felt like the Saiyans have outlived their usefulness. And of course, Beerus has also told him to do the same thing. Which, according to the anime, that is actually the case. That is actually the case. It wasn't just a matter of Frieza blowing up the Saiyans because they were just useless to him. Beerus did in fact give Frieza the go-ahead. Alright, so, anyway, back to the story. Let's not get sidetracked here. This is where the fun is. And much like keeping with the original TV Bardock special, Bardock is having to sit out the job on Planet Meat while his team have to go ahead and conquer that in the name of Frieza. Of course, they arrive there to find that they've already been massacred by Dodoria's men, who are lying in wait to set up an ambush for Bardock and his team. Luckily for Bardock, Bardock hadn't shown up yet. Waking up to disturbing visions of planet Vegeta being destroyed, his wife crying out in terror. I thought I'd add that for a bit of drama. And, you know, Kakarot screaming and wailing in the next room. And, well, with that, before Bardock heads off to Planet Meat and puts his skeleton on, he just tells Gine to come down to the clinic and just get Kakarot. Just a hunch. He's not really sure what to make of these visions yet, but, you know, just in case. Gine, of course, doing exactly what Bardock has told her, has basically grabbed Kakarot and has taken him home. So, that's pretty much it. If Goku's going to be sent off to Earth or any other planet, it's going to be Bardock and Gine's call, where Kakarot ends up going. And well, so basically, Bardock arrives and ends up in his battle with Dodoria's henchmen, and ultimately losing the fight to Dodoria, just like in the original story, and has to pretty much goes home licking his wounds, but not before vowing that Frieza will pay for this. We gave you loyalty, we worked hard, and what do we get? Payment in our own blood. Bardock, of course, returns home and manages to pull himself into his own house. He did briefly go to the tavern and try to warn everyone else of Frieza's terror, that Frieza is indeed going to come by and blow up planet Vegeta. after, Bardock had some visions that were a bit more clear. And of course they laughed in his face just like they do in the original special. So he's basically just able to drag himself home, and Gine, shocked to see Bardock banged up like this. She has never seen her husband banged up like this. I mean, to Gine, Bardock was this strong Saiyan. Yes, he wasn't very well respected in the Saiyan community, but Gine always knew Bardock was strong. So seeing him like this and hearing what Bardock had to say had them basically terrified. And well, after a few hours, Bardock does indeed manage to gather up the strength to steal a space pod for Kakarot, and much like in my What If Gine, the mother of Goku, survived What If, Gine is able to convince Bardock that she's weak enough to pass through undetected. And even if they did detect her power level of 500, they would just assume that she's just a Frieza Force infantry, because no Saiyan in history was as weak as Gine. At least, well, the now newborn Kakarot. And well, with the assurance that Raditz is off well with Prince Vegeta and Nappa somewhere, conquering yet another world for Lord Frieza, they can at least be assured that Raditz is safe. And well, after a bit of discussion and Gine actually convincing Bardock that she will fight her own husband if she has to, she's getting in that space pod with Kakarot. And well, for an instant, Bardock remembered the strength of Gine, why he fell for her in the first place. Just that inner bit of determination that she does have, even though she doesn't show it all the time. And in a moment of, I guess you could say, weakness on Bardock's part, he does allow Gine to get in a space pod and they escape. Bardock flying up into low orbit to challenge Frieza, or at the very least delay him. And well, the plan goes off without a hitch. None of them detected Gine's escape at all, because they're all too preoccupied with this rampaging Saiyan charging him. Frieza! Frieza! Bardock coming at them like a madman and just, bulldozing through Frieza's men like they were nothing. Mere playthings to the Saiyan. And then, Frieza makes his appearance, just like in the original, and, much like in the original, blows Bardock away along with the rest of the planet. And well, supposedly, Bardock is killed off there and then. But don't worry guys, I assure you, he is not. Somehow, someway, he is not. Trust me on this. You will see why in a minute, and those of you who have played Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, I think you guys know where I'm going with this. Alright. So, meanwhile, Gine and Kakarot have landed on Earth, and much like I did in the, What If Gine, the mother of Goku, survived, Gine was taken in by Grandpa Gohan, and both of them basically had a hand in raising Kakarot. Kakarot becoming having a very similar personality to his original counterpart Goku. After all, with a nice Saiyan raising him and Grandpa Gohan, it would mean that Goku, or in this case Kakarot, would have a very similar personality to what he has in the original. He wouldn't need the injury to his head to do that. And well, ultimately, this would mean that Grandpa Gohan actually gets to live up all the way up to the present day, because, well, with Gine there, they were able to warn him about Saiyan transformations and the Great Ape. So whenever Kakarot did become a Great Ape, they were able to prevent Grandpa Gohan from being squished, and Gine was there basically to ring him in. And to prevent pretty much most other future incidents. Well, just luckily Grandpa Gohan happens to have a couple of spare sunglasses, of Roshi pair sunglasses for the two of them. A bit of a shout out to Moscow X there. Alright, so with that, pretty much the Pilaf saga pretty much ends up playing out mostly the same, with Kakarot going with Bulma. Kakarot is stronger than his original counterpart in this timeline, thanks to training sessions with both Grandpa Gohan and sparring sessions with Gine. You could say his power level was almost double at this point to what it was in the original Pilaf saga. And because Gine and Gohan have both had a hand in raising him until Bulma shows up, Kakarot's not quite as dim-witted. He is still pretty dim-witted, but not quite as much. Well, he's smart enough to know what a car is, at the very least. And what a house is, at the very least. Gine, sort of building her own sort of house on the same property as Grandpa Gohan, just so they weren't constantly imposing on him. After all, it's pretty cramped in Grandpa Gohan's homestead. And well, so with the Pilaf saga being wrapped up, and Goku meeting everyone like he did in the original, him having to go Great Ape to save everyone, and had to admit to Gine that he did that, Gine just telling him it's alright, and well, in the end, he ended up saving everyone, and, stopped a madman from taking over the world, most importantly. And, thanks to, confirmation that the Dragon Balls do work, and that there is indeed a wish-granting dragon once you bring all 7 together and say the prayer. And well, this actually presented an idea for Gine that within the year's time and the Dragon Balls become reactivate, perhaps her and Kakarot can go looking for him to maybe do something about the extinct Saiyans. And well, more or less, the whole tournament saga and Roshi training Goku and Krillin pretty much plays out the same way it does in the original. Gine also decided to join in the training, so yes, you could imagine Gine wearing a turtle shell and having to run around. It's not as hard for her as it is for Kakarot and Krillin, but her muscles are pretty, out of practice since leaving planet Vegeta because, the gravity's that much easier. So she is getting a bit of a workout for it. She has managed to go soft a little bit over the last 12 years. Her power level's still roughly the same, but it's definitely teaching her the necessary ki control, how to lower her energy, sense energy, and all that nifty stuff that the Earthlings are capable of. And just the fact that that whoever did the information dump on planet Earth really needs a kick in the butt for getting it wrong, because these humans do have the potential to be great in their own right, and they have magic and sorcery too. Definitely the kind of magic that Frieza would be interested if he had have known. Perhaps when they did their information dump, the dinosaurs were around. Who knows with those old records? Alright, so more or less, the tournament concludes with ultimately Jackie-chan beating Goku. But TB wouldn't Gine enter the tournament too and ultimately beat Roshi? I mean, she is the strongest thing on the planet right now. I see your point, but Gine has never been really interested in fighting. She's now more or less interested in training and getting her power level up, at the very least so she can keep up with Kakarot and so they're able to still spar together and all that. But she's not gonna waste that power on these muck-around fights. No, she's only gonna use this power if she absolutely has to. And well, with that, and Gine giving Roshi a bit of a lecture for disguising himself as another fighter, yes, Gine saw through that ploy right away. But ultimately, after hearing the exact purpose on what it was for, she ultimately decides it's okay with it. It's okay for Goku to learn what it's like to lose. I keep forgetting to say Kakarot. Kakarot is okay to lose, and to keep improving and grow stronger because of that. So, Gine is ultimately fine with the deception, and well, as the tournament concludes, once again the Dragon Balls are active, and Gine and Kakarot decide they're going to find the Dragon Balls, and see if they can get some answers on what really happened to their race. After all, it's pretty safe to assume they're all dead, but Gine wants to know for sure. And this leads to basically the Red Ribbon Army basically being massacred by the two Saiyans. You know, Kakarot, who's pretty much double in power at this point, more than a match for Mercenary Tao, doesn't even lose to him in the first fight. And thanks to Gine being there providing support, Bora is actually kept alive as well. So Goku doesn't have to waste a wish on bringing Upa or Bora's father back to life. Thanks to the backup from Gine and pretty much Goku and Gine pretty much leveling the Red Ribbon Army complex, and Commander Red having to basically ultimately lost, Red Ribbon Army in shambles, and they managed to gather the Dragon Balls. And after fighting in Fortune Teller Barber's little tournament, getting the location of the final one from Pilaf, Gine and Kakarot summon the dragon, and Gine asks the dragon that she doesn't word it as a wish. She's asking the dragon a bunch of questions first. Firstly, she basically words, if the Saiyan race were wiped out along with the planet, could you bring them back? If I were to grant that wish, it would be impossible. I can't bring back an entire planet, an entire civilization. I'm afraid they've been dead for too long. This basically confirmed to Gine that the Saiyan race is indeed wiped out. And so Gine says, what about single wishes? Could you bring back one Saiyan if I asked? Yes, that wouldn't be a problem. After all, one by one wishes do not have time limits on them. After all, look at Frieza in Dragon Ball Super. He was dead for over a decade, and his men were able to bring him back in Dragon Ball Super. So it is possible you could bring back someone back who's been dead for decades. You know, Goku could have brought back Grandpa Gohan in the original if he wanted to, or even thought of it. Some grandson. Anyways, not in this story. So Gine decides to try and bring back Bardock. And well, the dragon actually tries to grant her wish this time, glowing red, but then replies, I can't grant that wish. What? But you said we could. I can't grant that wish because the one called Bardock is still alive, trapped in another time zone. What? He's alive, really? Okay. Can you bring him back here, to this time zone, to this moment, this location? Yes, that's not a problem. Your wish has been granted. The eyes glow red, and Bardock suddenly appears before his wife and little son Kakarot. Wow, Dad, is it really you? What? Kakarot, is that you? My, you've grown up. Gine, how did I get here? There, your wishes has been granted. I now take my leave. Bardock looking back to see the big magical dragon there, and it disappearing before him. Bardock quite confused at what's happened. And a little later, after they all return to Grandpa Gohan's homestead, they are basically filling him in with everything they've been through and what they've done. Oh, I see. So you were able to use these Dragon Ball things to bring me back? Huh. And here I thought I'd be stuck on Planet Plant forever. What? Planet Plant? Wasn't that the name of Planet Vegeta when we took it before we took it over? This is Gine asking. And well, yeah, it's a long story. You see, I was in the middle of battling Frieza, Bardock basically filling in his story, and that pretty much Frieza had done away with him and the planet supposedly, and well, at that moment where he was supposed to be engulfed by the blast, he was suddenly surrounded by a sea of these different timelines. things he can hardly... He doesn't really remember much about them, just basically what he can remember. You know, I'm pretty sure I saw you two at some point. I'm not sure, but the bottom line is, I ended up waking up at Planet Plant, and how they were being oppressed by one of Frieza's ancestors, Lord Chilled. So a nice tying over with the whole events between Bardock and Lord Chilled, which if you've seen the Bardock Dragon Ball TV episode, it pretty much told us what happened to Bardock after Planet Vegeta was destroyed. He was swept back to a time before Planet Vegeta was Planet Vegeta, and ultimately had to defend those race of people from basically, yeah, Lord Frieza's ancestors. And well, Bardock ultimately transformed into a Super Saiyan and beat him just like he did in that episode. I know a lot of people do not really like that episode and things like that, but I thought it'd be pretty cool to have that in this What If, and gives us a sort of explanation to Bardock's survival that we're sort of familiar with. And well, with that, basically, Bardock invites Kakarot out to the house and basically wanting to show him a new trick. Kakarot, check this out. And Bardock transforms into a Super Saiyan right before his eye. Wow, that is so cool! I want to do that, can I? You teach me to do that? Definitely, someday. Gine, I meant to ask, where's Raditz? And, well, Gine is unsure whether Raditz is actually still alive or not. I mean, they did give Raditz that message that they were going to send Kakarot off-world, but ultimately, yeah, they don't know whether he's alive or not. Very well. Bardock, basically taking a scouter that Gine happened to have with her when she got in the space pod with Kakarot, then I'm going to go find him. Bardock, Frieza will just detect your power level if you go anywhere near his space. With the power I have now, that tyrant better not challenge me. Still, why don't we err on the side of caution? How do you mean? Suddenly, Gine powers up her energy, and Bardock saw that, what Bardock essentially read in the scouter of Gine's power just a moment ago, suddenly skyrocketed to pretty much double, if not triple. Oh, Gine, you've been busy. You've actually managed to make yourself stronger. And, since when could you hold back your power level like that? It is a trick here that Kakarot and I have learnt on Earth. If you can learn that trick, you can pass through Frieza undetected. And, well, Bardock basically seeing that, yes, learning such lessons might actually be of benefit to him. Plus, it'll give him a chance to basically bond with Kakarot some more. And I think for right now, that's actually where we're going to leave things for right now. So what do you guys think? Did you enjoy this story? How will Bardock's sudden appearance, change the flow of the story of Dragon Ball? And, will he be able to find Raditz and bring him back to the fold? Perhaps even convince him, Nappa and Vegeta, that it was Frieza that destroyed their planet, and get a bit of a rebellion going, so Bardock can finally have his revenge against Lord Frieza. All this and more next time, with, What If Bardock and Gine Survived, Part 2. Alright, let me know what you think in the comments, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content, and I will see you guys next time. Catch you later.